Good morning. It is Saturday, April 24th. This is Jimmy, also known as Jumanji1776, and I'm a mod at Option Goats Trading via on Discord. This is our weekly swing recap. I am also going to go over some awesome scalp levels that a couple of our mods had, and at the end of the video, I'm going to announce an OG member weekly spotlight. I guess we can start by saying it's spotlight, where we're gonna post a trade that a member had that was successful. They posted it, made the trade by themselves, and they made money for it. So we already picked somebody. So we're gonna pick somebody every week, and at the end of the month, we're gonna give them a prize. I have no idea what that prize is gonna be. Could be cash, could be a screen, could be a shirt, could be anything. It could be anything. But so first things first, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button. There's also the Option Goats trading link down here. Give that a click. Here's our website. I always want to showcase our website because it's an awesome looking one. Whoa, not the code though. We don't need the code. Just know when you go down on the website, you can see that there's a free membership. We're trying to do more free call outs. In fact, next week we're going to have one, so stay tuned. And then for the OG Prime membership, you get a lot of other stuff, including the bot, which I'll go over a couple things, some of the mentorship that goes on, and then our daily watch list for the scalp levels. So awesome. Well, let's get started, shall we? Let's pull up the swing trade channel. Actually, no, let's start with the watch lists. Let's see what we got here. So I don't scalp, and scalping is basically day trading, but it's like the micro level of that. So let's pull up the levels that we had. So we had, let's see, was it in here? Yes, okay. So this was basically this week's watch list that we had here. And basically what these mods will do is they'll post a level, and if you're scalping, you're looking for a breakout or a rejection or a bounce. You're looking to play it off a certain level so it'll either loop back in your favor or bounce off in your favor. So a couple of really cool things that happened. In fact, yesterday results was pretty good. Yesterday we had EFX had a quick $1 pop. This was from Corn. Lulu plus 340 had a $2.50 move. Tesla had a $2.50 move from the level. The second entry had a $6.50 move, and some of them don't hit. Some of them, which is, I mean, that's expected. Sometimes they just don't hit the level, which is fine. We had an idea to look at MVIS yesterday, and Spiky Scalps noticed that it went from 15 to 19, so that was a good scalp right there too. Let's go back a little bit here. On Thursday, Amazon had a $13 move. Tesla had a $3.7 move. Spike called out the Tesla and Moderna, which were big dollar moves there. On Wednesday, we had Twilio, $4.50 moves. Square was almost $2, so was Boeing. And then Roku rejection, also a $2 move, which was really cool. On the 20th, on Tuesday, we had a lot of different moves. We had more than $1 or $2 or $3 moves on Netflix, PayPal, Roku, Baidu, Amazon. These are all moves that you can go long on a breakout, get a quick, 10, 20, 30%, and then get out. So very, very cool. And then on Monday, we had Amazon that had a $28 move, which, that's like a $3 move for Amazon, but it's $28. But still, the delta is 50 a piece, so that's still a good amount. And then Google had a $5 move. So all around, we had some pretty good levels for the scalpers this week. Corn and Spike did a really, really good job. It seems like a lot more people are scalping nowadays. I personally don't scalp, but I definitely I look at these watch lists because, if they do break out, I can definitely use these watch lists to my advantage as a swing, whether I want to short or go long. And so Thank you, Corn and Spike, for the watch list this week. Look forward to next week. So yeah, so let's move on to swing trades. So this week for swing trades was an interesting one, to say the least. On Monday, we hit the ground running with a Aura call credit spread on May 21st. Okay, so let's pull it up on the chart, shall we? Okay. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Pull this up on here. Let's pull up the 1 hour. Let's pull up Aura. Perfect. All right, so this is where we shorted it, right here. Bam, bam, bam. So we didn't even, had I got a put, it probably would have come out a lot better profits-wise, but we basically shorted right here at open. We waited a couple hours. It got to the 50 SMA and we profited. Now, point of a lot of the profits I will have, I'm always shooting for about $100, 100, 150 bucks, only because I'm only willing to risk about 50. So my risk to reward is always going to be 2-to-1 ratio. If we go back on that Aura is not a huge mover, right? So that this was only from 80.5, and this is almost down to 77, past 77. So let's see, I have it right here. Okay, there's our spread. We made 45%. We only risked 160 bucks and we got 80 bucks back. Perfect. Couldn't ask for a better trade at the beginning of the week. So that looked good. We got out it for $82. Peloton, man, Peloton was, how do I explain Peloton? Well, for the last 3 weeks, if you're in our Discord group, you'll know that I've traded Peloton many, many times. On Monday too, I scalped Peloton, made a quick $110. So all in all on that Monday, we made almost $200. It was a great start. Really liked Peloton to the downside. We shorted here, shorted here, shorted here, shorted here, shorted here. All in all, I've made about $400 to $500 profit from Peloton. It would have been more, which I'll go over in just a second. So yeah, okay. So we went over Peloton and we had Aura on Monday. Let's see what else we had here. I had an idea about NVIDIA spread, didn't end up doing it, and good thing I didn't because it would have not worked out well. So we had the 103, 104 bear call spreads that we had right here. And it went down, and then the next day we were in the money, right? We were in the money, right? And we were in the money here, and all I had to do was just stay under that 103 level. The next day, we started getting so much bullish behavior. I was up in profits, about $150 at open here. And then it went past our leg, and it was starting to go negative, which I had been holding it from this day to this day to this day. I was not ready to get out with a loss, right? I was not ready, and I don't think that if there had not been the Biden news on this day, this probably would have kept going up. And it was just recoiling from it making a new low here, recent low, 20 or 30, 40 session low here. So I cut the trade, came out with $5 profit. And then the Biden news hit and I would have ended up in the money anyway. So sometimes plays like that happen. I definitely was just managing my risk. I was not willing to take a loss on that trade. That was a trade that was going really well, and I was not ready to say, I was in it for 3 days and I'm going to go out red. I got out green, so that was a green trade, but it did take all of my time on Tuesday through Thursday, and so it is what it is. But we came out okay Thursday with the Peloton spread. We started with only one of them, or excuse me, we started with only 2 of them. I added another 2 the day before it popped up, and then basically we got out with a little bit of profit. So wasn't terrible. I grabbed a SPY put debit spread hedge. It was the 295 to 300 put for May 28th. I kind of did this same thing last year for the COVID crash. I'm not saying we're going to have the same crash, but it's always good to have something that, if we have a pretty large correction, 10, 20, 30%, these spreads usually pay off pretty well. And so I got 20 of them. It only cost me $40 because each one was about $2. Max profit theoretically would be $10,000, but SPY would need a drop. You know, right now it rocketed all the way up to 417, 416 yesterday on a Friday, and the put debit spreads we have are 295, 300. Now, being that said, Jimmy, why are you doing that? It's like, well, you know, I just like to have a hedge, whether it's on the VIX or on SQQQ. And so I did it on SPY because, you know, SPY looks pretty oversold on the daily. I would not, still doesn't faze me that it's going to keep making new highs. But it's only $40 for this hedge is basically kind of what I'm saying. So, all right. So here's another really interesting trade that I took was the Amazon credit spread I had this week. You know, a lot of people will think, Jim, Amazon, I'm not going to be able to mess with that. I can't mess with Amazon. Are you kidding me? That thing's over $3,000. How am I going to mess with Amazon? I only have like a, you know, you probably can't mess with it. You got $200 or $300, but if you got $1,000 in your account, you can mess with Amazon. And this is kind of the power of spreads. Okay. So let's go back to my study here for Amazon. Okay. So this is what happened, right? So the call out for Amazon was a call credit spread. It was for this week's, and it was a 33.70 and a 380 strikes. Let's see. Oh, wait, nope, this was Zoom. Let's see here. Let's go back to Amazon. Here we go. This is the one we want. Okay, so this was the swing trade that we did. And again, this was a trade that I was strictly thinking that tech was going to be weak for the rest of the week. We might have gone lower. So any signs of strength that I saw, right, because I'm selling credit spreads, called credit spreads, I was not ready, excuse me. I was only willing to lose a set amount, right? So we sold the credit spread here for $140, the call credit spread, which is the 33.75 and the 33.80 mark, which was basically, see if I have my numbers here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so 33.75, which is this line up here, is originally where I had the spread. Okay, so in after hours it tanked, popped back up, spring chicken, and then came up to this 33.50 level, in which case I said, oh man, it's looking pretty bullish here. Tech's looking like it's going to bounce back from this. It's above the 50 SMA, and bulls are definitely here. So I rolled the spread, took a $13 loss. Think about that for a second. I got to saddle up on Amazon, and I took a $13 loss when I went from 33.44, and then the next day when I went up to 350 and was looking bullish, only a $13 loss. That's not bad at all. So it kept getting bullish and bullish. By the end of the day, it broke through the 33.58 level, and it actually almost topped off at 33.62. Excuse me, right here I rolled my spread from a 33.75.80 to a 95.40, and now my spread is up here. It hit its head on the 33.62, which is a major level for Amazon. Once it hit that at the end of the day, I got out entirely. I was done with trading Amazon. It was a $2 loss right here. So for a total of $15, I got to saddle up on Amazon. Had it just kept going down this day and then this day, it would have been a really easy $140 credit, right? It would have been, I would have been able to say that was a really easy $140 if it was under 3,000 or 3,200. But it started breaking these levels, in which case I was managing my risk, and I said, you know what? I'm not willing to lose more than $15. I'm not going to saddle up for the next day for it to gap up over 33.75. And rest assured, on Friday, it did hit that 33.75 mark, in which case that would have already worried me. I would have cut the trade before that, and I probably would have got out with more than a $15 loss. So all in all, this was an okay trade. We didn't profit big. We also didn't lose big, right? $15 is really not much. So that was a good trade that we had. In real time this week, especially messing a little bit more with credit spreads. So let's go back to the swing trades. All right, so then we had Zoom. Okay, so we had Zoom. Let's pull up the picture for Zoom. Here we go. So this was the day after, you know, the market was looking pretty weak, and you know, we have been having these gap downs and gap ups and pop offs, and then just kind of dwindling for the rest of the day. Which again, Thursday was a weird day because we looked so bullish, but then the Biden news and shot everything back down. So we had a short entry here on a call credit spread on Zoom, right? The calls were so pumped up. I sold them actually for a pretty good premium. Let's check what that premium was again. Let's see, Zoom call credit spread. It was 35 bucks, but you know what? It was the 33. It was the 335. It was the 335 mark. Let's see if we can find. Here we go. So when we shorted it here, right? Or actually, it was down here. 327. 335 was way up here, right? It started to loop back up, and volume started kicking back up. See the volume down here? It started kicking back up, looping back up. That's where I cut the trade at $35. I said, you know what? This is going to be more than a pop off. And SPY was looking really strong, right? SPY was taking off in the morning. Qs were taking off in the morning. It had me a little worried, so I cut the trade and I took a $35 loss. Had I held, hindsight's 2020. Would I have known that Biden was going to shoot down the market? No. All I know is that it was about to go into major red territory for my spread, and I was not willing to take the loss, or more than $100 loss on this. So I took the stop loss at 35 and got out of the trade. So we messed with Amazon and Zoom. We shorted Amazon and Zoom, and we lost a total of 50 bucks. It's not terrible. It's not terrible at all, right? So by this time, I'm going into Amazon. Excuse me, the Amazon play, the Zoom play, and the Peloton play all basically came out at almost break even. If you add those all up, it was about a $45 loss, right? So we had $45 loss on Zoom, Amazon, and Peloton. Well, Peloton was a gain, but altogether we lost about 45 bucks from all three of those trades. And then we had Aura at the beginning of the week, which was a $80 gain. So now we're up about $35 for the week, right? I opened some spreads on United, Boeing, and CCL. Those did very well on Friday. Let's see if I can pull it up. Shout out to Tom. Tom had a really good week. He's one of our really good traders, and he was trading SPY, and I want to say he made about 4 or 5K just off trading SPY this week, off the Biden news. Had a SPY trade at the beginning of the week. He also took NVIDIA, made a quick 235 there. We had shout out to DCAS, made $8 on Palantir, awesome. And then he also took DCAS, also made 224. He's also one of our OG Prime members. He made 224 in IWM, so that was super cool. Liddy Sprinkles, excuse me, SPY. Tom, Fred had an 825 gain there. Sprinkles had 222 on Square. And there's that $3,300 profit. Tom Fred had the most biggest profit-taking trade from a trader standpoint this week for over 3K on SPY, which was very, very cool. Basically doubled his money really fast there. Ivy 635, awesome trades there for Apple and Docu. Awesome trades. DCAS mentioning he took a skydive with Tom too on the SPY puts. Made a quick 210 there. Ivy, 115 bucks on Docu and Lulu. Awesome. Okay, so now we're at a Friday, right? So the week was a little choppy, right? And then we get to Friday. Now, I was not planning on, I was ready to coast through Friday. I was ready to get to this video and call it a week and get to Monday. So I had an Intel put that I ran through ER. I thought it was going to tank. It did tank. I made a quick 60-70% on those puts. And then I also had my UMC calls, of which case I think what was happening was, since Intel was tanking, a lot of other chip makers were going off. And UMC ended up being a 120. Hold on. Let's see. I think I have the real update here. Here we go. $171 on Friday. Now this was a call out we had not from this week, but this was a little ways back. This was probably a month, and these were more leaps. But I wanted to make sure I bring them up because we've been just sitting on these for a while, and I was down on one, only up like 10 or 20 bucks on the other. And today it started just popping off, and the volume, everything just hit it. We made a quick 200 bucks on that trade. So I didn't close it out. I could have, but I have until July and October on those calls. So those are really good contracts to keep. Now we had a UAL spread that was doing well for us. We opened, let me see if I can pull them up here. Here we go. So I called all three of these. There was a UAL spread, of which we're in the money now, right? It was a credit spread. We sold put spreads and a put vertical spreads, and it's in the money now, which is good. We're just going to collect that premium, right, as it goes higher. Which right now we caught it at a low range, if you think about it, right? I think we caught it at a good range, and we didn't do it up here. We didn't do it up here. We did it on its lower part, and I feel pretty good about the trade. So that was UAL. Here is Boeing. Boeing's also in the money there. Now CCL, this is the one I might be a little bit worried about. Still, it's part of those beach stocks, beach stock like sector, but we kind of caught this at a higher range. It had a gap fill right down here, 4 or 5 sessions ago, and now it's coming back up. We are in a little bit of red territory, but that's okay. These are for May 28th, and these are put credit spreads. So for UAL, put credit spread, neutral bullish, 528, 52, 53. On UAL, I think I have 5 of them. Boeing, I believe I have 3 now. And then CCL, I have same thing. They're all put credit spreads. They're all from May 28th. For CCL, I'm doing 27.50 and 28. And I bought 10 of them. So max credit is 270 and max loss will be 230. So very, very interesting. Really like those plays. They should pan out really well. And then the last call of the week that we had was NNDM, Nano Dimension. And this was one I took from the bot. Just to clarify, we have a OG Flow bot that takes in by Tradeics, and that takes in technical analysis, the option flow, whether or not the calls were bought or sold, the puts were bought or sold, and then it spits out a call out, and it gives an AI confidence. They give you an expiration, the stock. If you don't like any of the mods call outs, you could look at the bot. If you don't like any of the bots call outs, you could look at some of the traders. You could look at some of the members. I'm always talking in there. If you want to come up with an idea for a trade, we can always do that. And then every morning, it's Saturday, so obviously it's a little quiet, but every morning in general voice chat, I'll be in there 30 minutes before open. And right at open, sometimes it's just me by myself with one other person, and sometimes it's 10 or 12 people in the morning. So we're starting to get more of a group in the morning. That's just more eyes on the market. So I think that everybody benefits from it. But yeah, we grabbed a 7.5 call for May 21st. Right now, the stock is at 736. If we can get a pop towards that 50 SMA to 960, we should be able to get out 150%. I bought it only for 88 bucks. So it really isn't a lot of, you don't have to put up a lot of money. But do keep in mind, if you say, well, Jim, I do have a lot of money. It's like, well, then buy multiples of them. You can make a play out of anything with any kind of amount, right? You don't have to be selling spreads. If you're buying calls or puts, you can buy 1, 5, 10, 100, 500,000. Trust me, I've seen it. Members, new members, old members, they've done it before. I have been trading for such a long time that I just want to play the price action and the indicators. But overall, this week we had, so Aura was a good trade. We also had Peloton day trade on Monday, so that together came out to like 260 minus the 45 loss from Amazon and Zune. comes down to 200. And then we had UMC, and we also had Intel, which was 60 plus 270. So we had 330 plus the 200. This week altogether, just from the call outs that we had, was a 550 gain. A 550 gain just from this week's call out. So we had a really good week in swing trades. I'm already looking forward. I didn't think I was gonna be able to say we were gonna have a green week on Thursday, and Friday came in, kicked butt, and we absolutely crushed it as a team. So it was a good Friday. So let's see. Okay, we went over that. But yeah, I want to make sure that you can, when you go to the Discord, it's going to look like this, right? If you're brand new, let's see if I can open it up here. Here we go. Okay, so these are what the bots look like, right? And this is the only one I really look at is the Bullseye bot. If you went down here, it'll tell you the symbol, the strike, the expiration, calls, puts, buy, sell, AI confidence, premium amount, the volume volume versus the OI, the bid and ask, and the bid ask average. Now, every member has access to this. If I go to, let's go back to an old call out. Let's go to LVS. If you're a member and you click this link, it's going to take you to the Tradedics history of the call out. So as a member, as an OG Prime member, you would get access to see this, and it'll show you the reasoning why it was thinking to go long on LVS, because it was for a call right here. It's saying that to say LVS, buy LVS, the AI directions buy, AI confidence, it's a call, 60 strike, the expiration is 521. Maximum profits is 20% already at the current time. At the end of Friday, it was at 20% gain. And it tracks every call out. And right here, it can show you that it went long here because it was probably most likely because it was approaching the VWAP, right? And then it tells you the history of the price. So very, very useful bot that we have now. We've only had it for about a month or two. And also the guy who makes the Tradedics bot is awesome. He's a very, very smart guy, and we couldn't be happier with the new bot that we had versus the bot that we had before. So other than that, I think that is about it. So don't forget, hit that subscribe and that like button and that watercolor of OG. Make sure to hit that as well. Now, drum roll, please. The weekly OG member spotlight goes to Mo. Mo was a member this week, posted his call out right here for Riot puts, I believe. They were Riot puts. He said, if anyone in this play, I averaged down on pullback today. Excuse me, this might have been Riot calls. Let's see here. It looks like a call. Yep, that looks like a call. So Riot calls looks like on Monday. He said, if anyone in this play, I averaged down on pullback today. I now have 3 contracts, was down 20%, now only 12%, recovered nicely, still holding this. And then on the 21st, he said, forgot to mention we were up 80 bucks on each contract, sold all 3 for 250. Good job, Mo. Great trade, man. Great trade. I love it. So Mo, just so you know, you will be thrown into your name will be thrown into a hat with somebody else for next week. And between the two of you, you will receive a prize. So shout out to Mo for making that great trade on Riot. Hopefully there's more to come. And we're glad that we have him as an OG Prime member. And so yeah, awesome trade there. Other than that, I think we're good. Let's see. I think that's about it. Again, here's our website. Check it out. If you go to About Us, you can look up, and it tells us about the different mods that we have here. Tells us our services, short-term, medium, and long-term. We cater to any kind of trading. I typically do swing and long-term, actually mostly swing lately. And then we do have a couple scalpers, and then we also look at some equities. But typically that's just a topic that we talk about every now and then. So other than that, have a great weekend. Again, it's Saturday, April 24th, Jumanji 1776. Jimmy Mod here from OG Trading. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great Saturday. I hope you have a great Sunday. Enjoy the time off, and we will see you Monday. Have a great day.